So let's say you have ADHD and you want people to know what it's like to have ADHD because they just don't seem to get it. Send them this video. Hey, I'm Nick McLaughlin. I'm an executive function coach giving you strategies to help you unlock unstoppable focus and follow through using fun and simple analogies. The first way I'd explain to someone about what it's like having ADHD is forcing a triangle peg through a square hole, where you're trying to jam the piece into the box, but it's just not fitting because it's not meant to fit. So you have a different brain type than someone that doesn't have ADHD. You're neurodiverse, they're neurotypical. But what happens that I see all the time, and that happened to me that was really, really frustrating, was people would just say, oh, just try harder. It's supposed to fit. They're just seeing the peg and the box and they're saying, okay, you're not trying hard enough, try harder. But for you, you're like, I'm trying with all my might to push this into here and it's not working. And they just see nothing happening and they think, wow, you're so lazy. And it's really hurtful and difficult to hear that all your life. You have no choice but to say, okay, I guess you're right. I guess maybe there's something wrong with me. I just need to try harder. Maybe I am being lazy and I don't know my potential. And so you raise your expectations more and more and more. You try harder and harder. It doesn't work. So you guilt trip yourself more and more and more. You get to the point where you're just depressed and anxious and you feel like there's nothing you can do to possibly fix being so broken and far gone. Most of my clients feel this way on day one and never feel that way again after we're done working with each other. So if you are neurotypical and you're watching this, don't tell people with ADHD to try harder. It does not do anything. Actually, if they try harder, it's only going to make things worse and more difficult. The harder you jam this shape into this shape, it's only going to mess up the entire thing. The second way to explain it, I tell my clients we're basically like left-handed people in a right-handed world. That's basically like saying most people in the world are neurotypical, right-handed, let's say, and the neurodiverse people are kind of a smaller population. There's not that many of us. I mean, there's a lot, but compared to neurotypical, nowhere near as much, right? So a left-handed person has to kind of learn how to work in a right-handed world. So that sets up a whole bunch of expectations for this guy. And you start thinking, well, I don't know how to be like this person. So what I noticed with my clients is they were trying to be right-handed when they were naturally left-handed. And what that does is the same exact thing here. We're setting up higher and higher expectations and getting nowhere. It only makes you feel like you're proving to yourself that, wow, I must be broken. Instead of trying to force being that way, embrace being who you are with your ADHD. Embrace being left-handed and watch how fast you start to crush it. When you put the right amount of effort into the wrong thing, it's always going to take longer. It's always going to be harder. But when you put the right amount of effort into the right thing, it's always going to be faster. Now there's not as much resistance and you have clarity about how you work, what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Of course, the only option left is to do well because now you have no resistance and full clarity. Way to explain ADHD to non-ADHD friend or family. Number 3, the Band-Aids. So I've been coaching for over 20 years. I started my coaching journey in high school, so I was very young when I started. And since then, I have coached a lot of lawyers and CEOs of multi-million-dollar companies, celebrities, and even therapists. And the therapists have basically told me things that I didn't expect to hear. A lot of times they've told me that they struggle with their ADHD. And I thought, wow, you're so much more educated than I am. You're way smarter. I should be coming to you for advice and knowledge. But they would tell me things that were interesting. Multiple times I would be told from therapists that hired me as their coach, you actually kind of complete what we don't know to do because we're more taught on how the neurotransmitters work, like dopamine and norepinephrine in the brain and the frontal lobe and all the science to it. They say they don't really know what to do. They try and give to-do lists, make checklists easier, give breathing exercises. They're really excellent with helping get the gunk out and with solving the core issue. But when it comes to actual action steps for productivity, well, they're not trained in that. We usually are given medication, and this is a very controversial issue. Just gonna say mine straight out so that you can know. I'm not anti-meds at all. I'm anti the stigma of you're broken because you have ADHD and the only thing that will make life better is just popping a pill from your doctor. Because I've had a lot of clients tell me that they've either gotten off their medication or lowered their dosage after working with me because they realized they were compensating for their lack of executive functioning abilities by using this as a Band-Aid. And that's not to say that this isn't helpful because a lot of people find this very helpful and it can be great. It's a great tool. But is it actually going to help you with your procrastination, learning to be more organized, to know how your brain works? There are so many aspects to having ADHD that are not talked about or not known, that we just think, oh, go to my doctor and get prescribed meds. I would say do your research on executive functioning or hop on a call, click the link in the description below. Happy to just talk to you about it. I'm not a doctor and I'm not making this advice, not trying to replace anything. I gotta put a disclaimer here, but I'm just saying that there are so many ways that you can support yourself just by learning your abilities. In fact, I'd say watch this video up here. This analogy will actually really help you with exactly what I'm trying to say here. Now, the fourth way you can explain to someone that doesn't have ADHD, it's like having a Ferrari in your garage with no key. Obviously, my Ferrari is in the shop. I just have my Honda keys because I totally have a Ferrari. You have this drive, you have a great engine, you have just this motivation, this passion, but your life is on standstill because you just don't have those keys. And you feel like you're just stuck there in the garage with this amazingly powerful vehicle ready to take on the world at fast speeds, and yet just a little tiny key is what's stopping you. The key is just having the ability to manage your executive functioning. The whole goal is you want to be able to manage your ADHD, use tools to your advantage, not let them use you. You want to embrace your ADHD. And you want to apply yourself in ways that actually work for you and be seen and respected and valued in that way too. Those are the four things that I would say are really helpful for people with ADHD. And you can do that by managing your executive functioning. So click the link in the description below if you want to do that. Hop on a free call with me, download some of the tools I have, like and subscribe. And I'd love to hear in the comments below which one of these really resonated with you.